Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Village's 2024 State of the Village Address. This evening, Trustee Kathy Johnson was supposed to be here to introduce the mayor and give a little brief introduction. Unfortunately, she is stuck in traffic on the Dan Ryan. So, in true Trustee Johnson fashion, she wrote me a speech. So I will try to do her speech justice. As a matter of fact, Trustee Johnson is walking in right now, so if she'd like to come up here and do her own speech, I will give her a second to do that. I was really looking forward to meeting Trustee Johnson for the night, but
Thank you, Dan Ryan. Now in 40 minutes. Accident on 57.
Trustee Johnson.
See, that's why I told you, I'm always prepared. So, give me the...
Water?
Nope, that's it. So, the mayor actually had asked if I would make small comments before introducing him. So, you guys all know who I am. I'm Kathy Johnson, I'm one of the trustees. I'm honored to be able to introduce the mayor. And so, to start things off, we're going to do this, we'd like to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everybody can stand. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah.
So in my opening comments, I want to welcome everybody. It's great to see everybody here. We'd like to welcome the residents, the school board officials, members of the chamber, and those watching online. Hi, thanks for coming. We'd also like to thank District 143 and the staff of Central Park School for hosting this event. The Village Board thanks you for your interest. We hope you will find the 2024 Midlothian State of the Village address informative. And as I say, coherently, and I'm Kathy Johnson, so I'll forget that. I think it's important for all of us to collectively reflect as a village in terms of where we came from, where are we at now, and more importantly, where are we going to go in the future. In the words of Daniel Burnham, who is a famous Chicago architect who said, make no little plan. I think that's a great way to say it. We appreciate the mayor's effort to prepare and present this address. I know he doesn't like giving presentations, so I commend you for doing this. I'd like to also thank the department heads and the village staff for helping the mayor in this endeavor. Additionally, all of the Midlothian elected officials, trustees Tony Burdett, Kathy Gateney, Sandy Crowley, Don Clea, Jack Kelly, our village clerk, Alan Moscow, as well as myself, are committed and share in Mayor LaRue's focus on transparency, fiscal responsibility, and community engagement. The Village of Midlothian is truly a wonderful place to own a business, to work in, to live in, and to take part in social activities. Together with the residents, we, the village staff and board, are all vested in doing what's best for the village. We are all active participants in making Midlothian the special place it is. And I have another quote from Daniel Burnham. He's the one that said, nobody can build any skyscrapers on the lake. He said, that is the people's lake. So therefore, no buildings can be there. And what he said, and I love this quote, is make big plans, aim high in hope and in work. So with that said, at the conclusion, we'll need to, there's supposed to be refreshments at the end. Yeah, okay, at the end. I'd like to introduce our mayor, Mayor Gary LaRue.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the battery's going dead. Thank you, Trustee Johnson. You took care of like the first 5 slides, so I'm good to go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. This is the 2024 State of the Village Address. I wanted to thank, as Trustee Johnson said, Village Clerk Alan Moscow and Deputy Village Clerk Jackie Harris for putting this all together, plus all the department heads and all the trustees that had something to do with this. So we get going on here. Of course, you know me. Here's the agenda. I'll try to get through this as quick as possible and try not to bore you too much like to leave some time at the end for some question and answers. So we'll get right into it. Of course, the village board, very proud of this group. It's the hardest working group you'll ever meet. Without them, none of this would be possible. Everything we get done on a daily basis, a yearly basis, is because of them. I just sit in the middle and sit in the middle. So, of course, Mayor Gary LaRue, well, you already heard the name, so you're all here. Everyone's here. Jack Hilley just came back from a fishing trip. He broke his ankle. Good job. And I missed anyone? All right. So, these are some of our volunteer committees. We got our beautification committee, our events committee, economic development, which we just really newly started back up, which I'll get to later. And of course, our community, combined community policing and safety committee. We have trustees. Each trustee is assigned to a department and also committees. So I should have gone through that with Trustee Crowley's over the police department, Trustee Caveney's over the building department, Trustee Burbat is over the public works, Trustee Hilley's over fire, and Trustee Johnson's over admin. And where's Trustee Killey? There he is, Trustee Killey, over finance. So these are our four active volunteer committees. Some of our members are here tonight. I want to thank all of them for everything they do. Like I said, I'll get back to the Economic Development Committee later. And we also have our commissions, our Fire and Police Commission, our Midmark Water Commissioner, Mr. Jerry Gillis Sr. is here from Midmark Water, and of course our Plan Commission. Unfortunately, I did not get on here our beautiful historical museum. Of course, my mother-in-law is here, so I had to say that because I don't want her to get mad at me when I get home tonight. I'm telling you what they did over there is just fantastic. If you guys could stop in there someday, it's right across from Springfield School. They're open first, second, and third Saturday of every month. Give them a shot. It's a beautiful place what they've done there. All right, and of course the really good stuff, the finances. Can everyone see this? Can you see this? Can you see this? It is hard to see. So we want to start with some of our demographics. The population, I'm not sure if that's accurate. The sign got changed over in Cicero to 13,800. I think we're probably closer to 15,000, but that was the number we got off the census. We have about 5,500 housing units, and our average income is almost 67,000, and our average home price is $260,000. You can see that's a 6.5% increase over last year. We've been doing a really good job on keeping the average home prices going up every year. So it's to do the hard work of all the trustees and all the departments, all the employees. All right, so tax abatement. Abatement simply means not collecting what we could collect. So prior to 2009, the village did not collect their portion of the village, of your total property tax. So the village abated the village portion of your property tax. Unfortunately, with the economic downturn, 07, 08, that practice had to get stopped. So going forward, that's out of, sorry, it's out of line. I don't know what's going on. Tony? A little help? All the graphics for the slides are in there.
Who put this together?
It was fine when I looked at it at home. They left. Sorry about this. A little technical delay. You can see it down there. Can I just click on the bottom parts?
I have no idea how this is loaded. Where are the images stored? but none of them are matching wherever. There's part of the problem.
Do we have the Jeopardy music you can play?
You could sing a little.
No one wants to hear that.
I do.
Speaking of which, while I have this moment, I once again forgot to thank my beautiful wife, Lori, for all of her support over the years. Putting up with me and all the craziness sometimes, so thank you, Lori, for sticking with me. All right, I guess we'll try it again. There we go. Phew. Thank you, Tony. All right, as I was saying, so going forward, because of the economic downturn, the village had to take out bonds, which is basically loans through the municipal bond market. So this village board decided that we would abate the payments back for those bonds. So this is what you're seeing here. There was quite a bit of bonds taken out over the years, and we're slowly paying it back. But what this graph shows you is that we're definitely paying those loans back, because the debt service, the payments to the bond market is going down, so our abatement's going down. So this thought that was a good sign. We're in the right direction. So property taxes. I don't think it's any surprise. I think Tony said there was no surprise that the three school districts, 228, 142, and 143, make up a majority of your tax bill, nearly 60%. Just want to point out that the Village of Midlothian is only 19% of your tax bill. You can see that on your tax bill. They do break it down, and you can see it for yourself, but we're only 19% of your tax bill. So, revenues. Again, probably not a surprise. Almost 60% of our revenues come from sales tax, income tax, and property taxes. But what I want to show on this slide is this grant reimbursement. We're still doing a really good job in getting out there and getting grants. Almost 18% of our revenue is coming from grant money. Some of it has matches, but some of it doesn't. So we've been really working hard on getting out there and getting the grants, and that's our trustees, that's our department heads, that's our village employees. I'm going to touch on the water and sewer. Water and sewer, that is a dedicated fund. All the money we get from your water bill and your sewer bill goes directly into the water fund. It can only be spent on water and sewer projects, so that can't be lumped into the general fund. We did sign on a few years back to Southland Water Agency. That's a new agency that's going to bring water from Hammond through Indiana to the state line and into Midlothian. It's quite a few years out, but it's going to be a massive savings to the Village of Midlothian and the residents. So we're looking forward to that, but still a few years out. All right, expenses. Maybe a surprise, maybe not. Employee salaries and benefits obviously is the biggest one, nearly 44%. There's that debt service. The debt service is our payments back to the bond for paying off our bond. So that's all that means. It's like paying your mortgage payment. Nothing else really shocking here. So, going back to the grants, and just in fiscal year 24, we were looking for $13.5 million, and we were awarded $6.2 million in grant money. That's a phenomenal feat. We keep working hard every day. We're still looking for more from ComEd, Cook County, FEMA, IDOT, IEPA. We got $2.7 million for lead service lines recently. MWD has been a really good friend of ours, and of course RTA. We just completed a project with CMAP, Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, for grant readiness. That's going to let this grant process move forward throughout the years while we're long gone. So hopefully that will continue to do well. All right, fund balance. I know our village treasurer is here. She can probably help me out if I stumble here, but fund balance is just the difference between assets and liabilities in our governmental funds. And you can see here, we wanted to make note that this village board pledged to have a positive fund balance by fiscal year 25, and that's where we're going to be at. So you can see these, we're rising year over year over year, and we're kind of stabilizing here. So we're doing really good. So, going on to our accomplishments. All right, so I'm sure you all know we eliminated the minimum use for all residents. We started with the seniors, and we figured that it was the fairest thing to do is just to not charge you for water you didn't use. So you're only getting charged for water that you use. So that's why we eliminated that. We've upgraded our village website. Hopefully you get a chance to check it out. It's very interactive. Of course, hardware and communication infrastructure improvements and disaster recovery. Going back to CMAP, we're trying to get another project with them to handle traffic safety. It's one of our number one complaints. Chief Delaney can attest. So our number one complaint is speeding and stop signs. So we're working very hard. We're trying to work through every avenue, and we're trying to get this project with CMAP to develop a plan. Everyone wants speed bumps. Not sure that's the right way to go. I think Superintendent Sperry over there would probably say no. It may be effective until it's your car that gets damaged by that speed bump. So we're hoping that we get this grant through CMAP and we can develop a plan for the entire village of Midlothian, because it's everywhere. It's not just your block, it's my block, it's everyone's block. All right. Of course, we're now live streaming everything on Facebook and YouTube, and it gets saved on those platforms as well. You can watch later at your convenience. I know I get texts from residents the day after the meeting that watch the YouTube or the Facebook. We started an electronic village newsletter. What else? We did the electronic sign out front. And we continue to look for ways to be more communicative to our residents. It's one of our toughest things. One of my toughest things is how do we get to each and every one of you? And we've tried so many different platforms. We're trying all the platforms we can, and it's hard, but we're doing our best. Economic development. This is something that we've been working on for the last 3 years. A lot. Trustee Caveney has taken over the Economic Development Committee. We started that back up. We hired an economic development consultant. We instituted a TIF. I think that's going to come up a little bit later. A much larger TIF area in Midlothian. That money can be used to incentivize new development, redevelopment, facades, landscaping, signage. So working hard on that. So the focus of the Economic Development Committee is to support the existing Midlothian businesses, of course, showcase Midlothian attractions, trying to draw a new business, which we'll see later in the slides. There's going to be a lot of new business coming in here soon. Revitalization and modernization of the commercial buildings, and of course, stimulating new development. So here's the TIF. TIF is tax increment financing. It simply means that the village is collecting, as your total property tax bill goes up, the village collects that increase, the increment, and it goes into a TIF fund. And that TIF fund, again, it can be used specifically for these things: interior renovation improvement, exterior facades, site appearance, small business startups, and catalytic incentive program for projects exceeding $500,000. We've already worked with the Midlothian Library on their renovation, inside and out, helping out School District 143 with their massive expansion of Springfield School. And Bartolini's, I mean, we're using this, but we have to be very specific. It's the laws with TIF is very specific, and we have to follow those laws. And we hired a TIF consultant attorney as well. Not you, but sorry. All right. So far, we've developed strong connections. We're property owners and brokers, marketing real estate in Midlothian, created a web platform to support the marketing of those available properties in Midlothian. We are currently marketing 14 properties for sale. and the village is also marketing 9 spaces available for lease. Something else we're doing, we work with the Cook County and the South, well, mostly the South Suburban Land Bank to acquire vacant properties so that they can be marketed. We've been successful with what we all call the White Elephant. It's the old Emporium liquor store. It's right there by the train tracks on 147th. South Suburban Land Bank finally acquired it through judicial deed, and they own it, so we're working through the process now to buy it from them, and unfortunately, due to the state of disrepair, it's going to have to come down. It's in a floodplain. It's way too far gone for a development to happen there because there's restrictions with commercial properties in floodplains. So, but we're working on that. It's going to be another slide. The Councilors Building on 147th and Kilbourne. It's really overgrown right now, but we just heard recently that the South Suburban Land Bank acquired the judicial to that property as well. They should be getting out there this week or next week to get it all cleaned up. And hopefully we can market that one. We don't know how bad the building is yet, but hopefully that one can be marketed for development, or redevelopment. Actively promoted Midlothian properties and spaces to individuals. We have made contacts with 325 individuals to promote Midlothian properties. So I think it's all coming together. Everything takes time. I'm usually a very patient person, but it just takes time. So it's all working, it's all coming together. It's just from the hard work of everyone involved in the village, the trustees, the department heads. It's been amazing what's going on. Here we go. So we did partner with the South Suburban Land Bank. 3831, that's the White Elephant, the old Emporium, and then 4339 is the what we call the Malachi properties. It's the vacant lots on 147th between St. Stephen's Church and Mr. Sub. So that's acquired, and then again, we just heard that they acquired the Councilors Building. So our plans for 2024 and beyond, we're going to assist with the development of a new retail center at 144th and Cicero. We have a developer that's looking to buy the property and develop it into a commercial center, a retail center, probably 3 or 4 units. They've given us some ideas on what's going to go in there, but no one signed a lease yet, so we can't really say, but it's good stuff. Big B Coffee is going to be moving into our Old Brown's Chicken. They're out of Michigan. They're more of a regional chain, but I heard really good things about them, and I like the looks of some of the stores I've seen in Michigan. We also are really pushing hard to market that Malachi property, the 4339 147th. It's got some issues. I knew it was going to go out. What else could go wrong? So we're really pushing hard to get that developed. It's right in the middle of our downtown. We've been focused on our downtown for a long time now. It's been stagnant for a very, very long time. We recently had someone purchase the old Honda building. They're supposed to turn that into a classic car renovation center. And there's a lot more slides coming up that'll show you all the other things that are coming into town, but that's one area that we think we can get a mixed use or residential on top and retail on the bottom. There are some issues with the infrastructure, the water and sewer mains are across the 147th, but nothing's impossible. With the new TIF in place that we're now garnering a lot of money into this TIF, we can use that money to incentivize this developer to make it what we're looking for. Hello? All right, we're back. And again, we redesigned the village website to improve economic development impact. All right, administration department, that'd be Trustee Johnson and Deputy Clerk Harris oversee the administration department. So this may not seem like a big deal to all of you, but this new folding and postage machine has saved the village a lot of money. And those are the things that our administration department does to find ways to save that dime, save that dollar. And they keep looking for more and more ways. And that's one of them. And again, I don't know if you guys, it's a big deal. It's just, may not seem like a big deal in black and white there, but we brought the water billing back in-house as well as the vehicle stickers and pet tags. The bulk mailing of the utility water bills saves us money. And then we have the bill backer on your water bill to give you messages. It explains your fees on your utility bill and reflects the rate adjustment. Unfortunately, Chicago has once again raised their water rate that comes to Mid-Mark, and Mid-Mark has to raise their rate that comes to us, which means we have to raise your rate to keep up. Going back to the earlier slide with the water fund, when we get to the public works slide, there's 49 miles of water mains in town. Aging water mains. That has to be replaced. We have to have money in that water fund to do that. And unfortunately, that's the cause of these rate increases. We're just passing along what we get from Chicago so we can stay above, stay positive, and keep building money into that account so we can get these things done. We continue to go out for grants, looking for grants to do some of this stuff, but it's tough. So back in 2021, we were owed nearly $64,000 on water billing. Our administration department has worked very hard to bring that down to only almost $15,000. And they continue to work every day to bring that money back into the village. Sorry, I don't talk a lot, so this is a lot of talking for me. Okay. Property transfer stamps, that's when property is transferred, obviously sold, transferred to another owner. So in 2022 was 443, and 2023 was 355. And of course, you know who put the slide presentation together. Deputy Clerk Harris, who was over the, so they had the five year in a row winner. I'm guessing they're going for 6. I don't know. But anyways, a great event. Thank you, Trustee Caveney, for putting it all together. A lot of people put in a lot of good scarecrows, and every year's a new theme. So look forward to the Scarecrow Fest 2024. Police Department. I don't know why I had to read that, but probably read that. Of course, Chief Delaney and then Deputy Chief Tavermina run the department. We always say that it's the best department in the state, if not the country. And we have some slides here to prove it. Just a couple slides. There's could be 1,000, but they're the best department in the state, at least, and enough the country. And because of these two, the dedication of these two individuals is incredible. So in 2023, we had nearly 23 calls for service and near 600 arrests. See traffic stops, 3,800, citations, 24. Parking citations, that's a lot. We got to get that down if people start parking, right? And then of course the local ordinance citations, 90. So some of the recent things, this is 2023, just a couple things. These are the 3 knuckleheads that decided to rob Emporium Liquor the day before Thanksgiving. Due to the quick action of the employee and our police department, all 3 individuals were able to be apprehended and arrested. The end result has yet to be determined, I presume. And another one, this individual here, he decided to use a firearm and try to hijack a car. So once again, because of the quick acting of our police department, they were able to apprehend and arrest this individual as well. These are some of the things that our police department gets involved with. Special Olympics, we just had the Cop on Top, and then they did the torch run, was coming up June 6th, something like that. And then Lieutenant Thiebaud, he's always been a sergeant to me. Lieutenant Thiebaud, he drives the the 502 down here in the bottom right in the 50 at Dirty-O, which is another fundraiser for Special Olympics. Unfortunately, I didn't get the number from last year, but it's a lot. It's tens of thousands of dollars that you guys raise every year for Special Olympics, and it's a great thing. National Night, one of our biggest events of the year, every first Tuesday of every August. This year was probably biggest of all, so please continue to come out and support this. We also do a coffee with the cop, welcome back to school, and the Touch a Truck was at library? Spalding School? Okay. I know there's one at Midlothian Library. Okay. Just shows that our officers are out there all the time, interacting with the residents, the kids, and it's pretty amazing. I think I just saw her walk in. I believe that's 143 Superintendent Angela Karate. Is that correct? There she is in the back. That's Lieutenant Thebo, and then some of our officers with the kids in the street. So here's the two additional resources we were able to do in 23 was a full-time tactical officer and the traffic enforcement officer. That was the one that I wanted to bring up. Just recently, that tactical officer was able to build a case against an individual in Robbins and was able to secure the search warrant from a judge. And they, with the help of CERT, they went in and got some of that stuff. A lot of drugs and guns. So thank you again for all the work you guys do and keeping Midlothian safe and better. So we signed an intergovernmental agreement with the ATF, and currently an ATF is working out of our police station full-time. We also signed an intergovernmental IGA with Cook County Drug Unit, and we have a Midlothian officer assigned for the large-scale drug interdiction throughout Cook County. One of the proudest moments of my mayor career was watching this, well, not watching it get built. Once it got built, that was pretty proud. Nearly 5 years in the making, we were able to build this beautiful state-of-the-art police station for the health and welfare of our police department and also for the safety and security of our residents. There is a video attached to this presentation. You can watch it at home if you want. Just from time, I'm going to try to move on. But pretty incredible. I'm sure if you go over there, Chief Delaney will give you a tour anytime. Just make sure it's not in the bad part, just the good part. There it is. So currently, we're going to be working, our next big thing is working on a new public works facility. If you've been to our current public works facility, it's literally falling down, infested with birds, leaking roofs. I mean, I don't know, what else could I go on there? Floods. So that's our next big project. Again, I hope it doesn't take 5 years like it did for this, but again, I try to be patient. Here's some of our new officers. Tiffany Rubinsky and Alexandra Sanchez. And I'm just going to say his first name, Ahmad, and Daniel. So we, every year, Chief Delaney gives out the Officer of the Year Award, and this year it went to Antonio Estrella for his attendance, proactivity, leadership, and positive attitude. And again, please do not hesitate to call our police department. Please do not hesitate to call 911 for anything. If you think 911 is an option, you should call it right away. They'd rather respond to nothing and have to respond after something happens. So please, don't hesitate to call them. I'm not sure, I don't think I coined this phrase, but it goes a long way. If you see something, say something, please. It really is that simple. All right, Public Works. Public Works is led by Superintendent Sperry, Joe Sperry. Oh, where's your picture? All right. and also Assistant Superintendent Ty Swanson. Here's some of the things that they have to take care of. We're a small town, what, 2 square miles maybe, and we have 49 miles of streets, 47 miles of water mains, and 19 miles of sanitary sewer. That's a lot to cover, especially when those water mains are breaking in the winter, or could be any time of year, I guess. But there they are. And Sue Stacy's their administrative assistant. And there's some of the crew. So here's a lot of things maybe you don't know they do, besides branch pickup, catch basin maintenance. Of course, we're delivering the safe potable water, sidewalk maintenance, storm sewers, tree maintenance, and snow plowing. Everyone thinks all they do is plow snow, but there's a lot to the job, and it's amazing what, with 14 guys, maybe 14 guys in the whole department, and it's pretty impressive what they get done year round. Some of the new vehicles we've been able to purchase due through good financial practice, replacing some very, very old, rusty, unsafe vehicles. Also, street sweeper, the sewer jet. I thought Trustee Killy was going to sponsor one of these. Weren't you going to sponsor that one? Wait, sorry, you retired, so you can't do it now. So here's some of the stuff that we've been working on or have been doing. Road resurfacing. We're pretty fortunate that we get money from CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, every other year, and we tie that in with our motor fuel tax money, and we get quite a bit of roads done. But this year we're going to be able to spend about 1.5 million. A big chunk of that's going to be 143rd. We're going to have to share that with Crestwood because they own the north side and we own the south side. Sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitations. This is probably part of a mandate that we have to stop stormwater from getting into our sanitary sewer. So that's working on that. You see the southwest quadrant this year. Lead service line. That's another mandate from EPA. We don't have, I don't know, say a lot. There's quite a few in town. So we were fortunate enough to get 2.75 million from IEPA to start this project. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to do them all. It's not just ours, it's also we're paying for your line from the meter to your house if you have a lead line. So we're going to try to get that started this year, summer, fall, and hopefully get them all done next few years, if we can continue to get that money from IEPA. 148th, 149th. So there's a water main that goes under, I think that's the one I'm talking about, right? Yeah, the one that runs under Midlothian Creek and the railroad tracks on Pulaski. Years ago, we found that had been leaking, so it's been shut off for a long time. We were fortunate enough to get $1 million from 1st Congressional District, U.S. District, to help replace that line, and we get that line turned back on. We're also fortunate that the way our water system's built, we can shut off sections and still get water and pressure to homes. Working on a LED streetlight project for all the streetlights in the village, and we always get this question. The metal poles belong to Midlothian, the wood poles belong to ComEd. But either way, if you see a light out, please call Public Works and they'll get you and touch the right person. We'll get in touch with the right person. Jolly Homes flood mitigation. This goes to the fact that we're still working hard on flood mitigation in town. Natalie Creek wasn't our final stop. Our next step was Jolly Homes. Thankfully, we were awarded $550,000 from Cook County for the design engineering of the project. That is complete. Along with that project, we were able to televise and jet out those sewers over there, providing some relief, I think. But now we were actively working on 2 other grants to fund the construction of the project. What was the cost of the project? 3?
I call it 5.5.
5 million. So it's a lot of money, but it's a big area, and we think we can get that done in the next couple of years. Just getting the engineering done is amazing. Trib C. Trib C is the little creek that runs from the Forest Reserve west to Central through, want me to read it? It runs from west to Central through the country club and then through the fairways of Midlothian and it exits at the turnpike. So this project was started by Crestwood. Crestwood has like the west or the northern part of this Trib C. MWD stepped in. There was a couple items that we needed to do as a village. It was purchase of 3 properties. MWD has decided that they're going to purchase those properties. We just have to give some money to help with the engineering, but it should be moving forward this year or next year. Belly Button Hill, that's our next list on our flood mitigation projects. As you see here, we were awarded $300,000 from Cook County Highway Department to fund the design for the flood. Everyone know where Belly Button Hill is? Anyone don't know where Belly Button Hill is? It's by Trustee Johnson's house. 150th, Costner Park, 150th, Kilbourne. So that drains into Midlothian Creek. That's the creek that runs along parallel to the train tracks. So totally different project than the Natalie Creek project. So also the Access to Transit grant, we were awarded some money to do an ADA path along the tracks from Pulaski to 147th, and we're hoping to get that done soon, I would hope. It's a long process. Everything's a long, again, patience. Should have been a theme of my address here, patience. All right, fire department. What I did notice in this presentation that Chief Hotwagner decided not to put his picture up here. I don't know why he didn't want to do that. So Chief Hotwagner, sitting here in the front row, heads the department. His deputy chief is Joe McClellan. Unbelievable department. Nearly 2,600 calls for emergency, almost 1,800 EMS calls, EMS, emergency medical. 60 still alarms. I had to ask Chief what still alarm means. It's a fire or a potential fire at a property. So 60 still alarm calls, just 23. And then 231 calls for mutual aid. So I went through this presentation like 4 or 5 times. I'm not going to read all those because I don't know what any of those are. But again, talking about grant money, our department heads, our deputy chief, he's going out there and he's looking for all the money he can find. Here's some of the things. I know what J-hooks are, but you guys can read. I don't know what, if you want to get up here, chief, and tell us what else. I know what Knox boxes are. So again, we're continuing to look for all that outside money so it doesn't have to come out of general fund. Some pictures of guys training or working. All right, our paramedics achieved 3 life-saving awards. I think there's some more info in another slide, but they found an individual that's clinically dead upon arrival. They were able to revive that person. Talk about the elderly lady that was trapped in her bedroom, her home was on fire. Technical rescue save. We're also working on replacing the fire equipment as well. Long process of taking some of the ambulance money and putting it away for a later date. We could do some fancy financing as well, but we're looking to replace that 30-year-old. There's a time limit for fire equipment, and 30 years is way past its time limit. So we want every piece of equipment to be safe, to be able to get you to the hospital safe. And then they also took on the role of the general contractor for the much needed repairs and updates to Station 1. It's looking pretty good, but I know you're looking for a new station, though, aren't you? Patience. All right, and then training opportunities were established with local apartment buildings, businesses, and new construction projects. So here's the life-saving award. Let me step back and this group of firemen, paramedics, they responded to this house and heavy smoke throughout the building. individual was trapped in their bedroom, and they were able to get them out safely. And the bottom slide is this young individual here, Owen Osted, next door neighbor. He saw what was going on, and he quickly got his garden hose and started spraying the house to try to keep the fire down, so our fire department would get there and put it out. So we gave him the Heroism Award. So you see the red shift, they went down to Springfield and they got the, from the Illinois State Fire Marshal, they got the Unit Citation Award. This was from the incident, there a construction worker, I think it was the gas line project on Springfield in Clare. He fell in the 15-foot trench unconscious, and they were able to mobilize him and get him out and save him. So, well-deserved citation award for that red shift. I don't know why the dog. Why is there a dog in there?
It's a state fire marshal dog. He's sleeping here.
Oh, the dog was, okay. State fire marshal dog was sleeping on the, okay. Jackie was trying to figure a way to cut that out. But. All right, they've also connected with Project Fire Buddies. This is a organization that brings joy to kids struggling with critical illnesses. They focus on building relationships with their fire buddies. They visit them at their home. They often do parade of vehicles and bring birthday gifts, holidays, and play games, and provide tickets to concerts and special events. It's a great organization. There's a link here in this presentation. If you guys want to look at it later and click on it, please support them. They're a great organization, and our fire department's working well with them. 2023 Fire Prevention Week was Cooking Safety Starts With You. So pay attention to fire prevention. So throughout the week, they work with the kids and teach them about fire safety. So that's these pictures, these school kids. Midlothian Fire Department Prevention Bureau has a highly productive and proactive year. They've revamped enhanced the safety and well-being of the community with the completed inspections, annual and new business inspections, public education. They provide monthly guidance to public on health and fire prevention, and they collaborate with the building department to uphold compliance, safety, and the support of the establishment of new businesses. Some new promotions. James Ditzler to engineer and Stephen Gorski as engineer this past year. And we have some new firefighters, Brett Pekarski and Nicholas Hasarick. Building department, Trustee Cavey, you want to step up and take over? So the mission of the building department, as you can see, enhance the health, welfare, and safety of Midlothian residents, maintaining property values by enforcing existing village codes. I think this has gone a long way to keeping our property values up and continuing to grow. Elevating the safe and healthy and equity in residential and commercial areas by updating building codes and standards. We have a slide later to show where we're at in that. And also promoting a better quality of life and progress in Midlothian. So here's where we stand on building codes. Not every town upgrades their building codes on a regular basis. We do. You can see that we are above every average, county, national, and state, on the upgrading our building codes. All right, a lot of reading here. Put a lot of words in this. Property maintenance and standards are crucial for a thriving, expanding community. Reinvesting in existing structures surpasses new construction significantly. Enhance property standards and values by educating and enforcing the ICC maintenance code. Revitalizing the rental inspection process. It was a little tough during COVID, so getting that back on track. Frequency and thoroughness of the building and fire inspections have risen over the past year. And daily code enforcement tasks are divided among the department members, the staff members. All right, some of the code enforcement successes. We can't, the old purple building, everyone knows as the purple building, we can't legislate taste, but we can legislate code and violations, and there were some code violations. We were fortunate to have a individual buy the property, turn into an excellent hair wig place, so it looks much better. All right, this is a residential home, 14933. You can see the top picture and the bottom. I mean, it's night and day. It's a beautiful, beautiful new home there. That's through code enforcement to continue to pressure them to do the right thing. And unfortunately, sometimes it leads to citations, but we got to do what we got to do. We can't leave properties like this. I know right now we're struggling with the grass. It's early in the year. We always struggle. There's a process to grass maintenance. You got to give them a notice, you have to give them citations, you have to give them time to rectify the situation before we can actually get in and do it ourselves and charge them for it. So, patience, we're getting there. This is the one I was talking about earlier, the counselor building. Again, it looks really, really bad right now, but we just heard that Land Bank got the deed and they should be out, you said this week or next week, to address this look of it. Something that Trustee Caveney took on years ago, the CRS, Community Rating System. This is a program that if we continue to lower our number, those that pay flood insurance get a bigger and bigger discount. Because of her work, the building department's work, I think Public Works are involved, a lot of people are involved in this. We're down to a 6. And because of that, anyone that carries FEMA flood insurance should be getting a 20% discount. If you're not, you should check with your broker and make sure you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. Oh, sorry. And again, see us on this presentation, there's a link here to the letter from CRS. Rain ready? We're still looking at this because of Natalie Creek has done pretty well. I think it's done what it was supposed to do. It was a 25-year flood relief project, but there are other areas that we keep talking about. We've had several significant storms. I think we're just getting another one tonight, but so we haven't heard any major impact flooding impact with the Natalie Creek area, but there was some thought that once that project was done, that everyone along Natalie Creek was going to get out of the floodplain. Again, the project was only a 25-year flood relief, storm event flood relief. So that doesn't qualify for what FEMA would tell you to be out of the floodplain. MWD is not going to do the map revision, but FEMA does it on a regular basis, and I think it's coming up soon. I think, do you agree with me, Trustee Caveney? Don't you think they're coming up in 25 or something? They're supposed to do a revision? So hopefully something happens good. So 14701 Colmar, the former State Farm office, that was a very flood-prone project, property that was 147 Colmar. A lot of water standing there for long periods of time, and we were able to purchase that through the MWRD flood-prone property buyout program. They paid for the purchase of the property. Now we have to pay for, the village has to pay for demolition and putting it to some sort of green infrastructure type thing. So we were working on this year. Hopefully we'll get that demolished and get some grass or something in there to help with holding some stormwater on that area. We continue to partner with OAI. That's the people that do the maintenance for our green infrastructures, like the Prairie Garden at the Rain Ready Community Garden, which is right next to the VFW, Kilpatrick Easement, along Natalie Creek, culverts, and then of course it'll be the Colmar property. All right, I think you've all seen the new Bartolini's. I want to thank them again for deciding to stay in Midlothian. They said they love it here, and they had they did not want to leave at all. So very fortunate they decided to take over the old factory bedding store and make it this beautiful, new, modern, fresh-looking restaurant. If you haven't been there yet, please go in there. It's fantastic inside. The inside and out is just fantastic. So we have there's a mistake here. It's not a remodel. We got the plans from Popeyes. They were going to do a full tear down and rebuild of a new Popeyes right in the same location. It might be adjusted a little bit on the property. They actually own the grass over here as well, so they can move it around a little bit. We just gave them a variance on their signage, but it's going to be a nice new fresh Popeyes. So some of the other things that have been happening in the last few years, Jessica Bob's moved in over and Take 5 Oil Chains and bought the old Fannie Mae chocolate candy store. They're doing well. New owner of Black Hawk Plaza, Mike Manias, the owner of Happy Days. Once he took it over, he did a whole facade and roof replacement. Looks really nice. So I wanted to invite Superintendent Karate here. So we've been working with the school district quite a bit with this project. It's a major expansion to Springfield School. We did have to close 146th from Pulaski to, from the alley to Springfield. But I think overall, once it's all done, one of the big issues there was pickup and drop-offs. I think this is going to help with that as well. It'll be reconfigured, and but hopefully that'll be done next year. The old spread pizza, or some of you might know the, what was it before that? Smithereen. The old Smithereen. The pizza joint didn't do well, so Bright Visions Daycare has decided to take it over and completely redevelop it and make room for all the kids. Daycare has become a big thing these days, so we were okay with this one. Froggy's bought the old drive-through self-serve car wash. Again, we can't legislate taste. I guess the green goes with frogs. I don't know, but he's done a lot of work there. So hopefully he's going to be open. I know the vacuums are working, but I don't know if he's open.
He's waiting for the triple basin.
The triple basin. People's Bank. I know Joanne Canna's here. So, yeah. They were very aggressive on the timeline of this, and I guess it's going to be open for business this year, huh? Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, thank you for staying in Midlothian. We appreciate it. But that's over there on Cicero. Individual bought the old 7-Eleven property and totally redeveloped it, revamped it, and we're hoping to have some new businesses in there shortly this year. Buddy Bear Car Wash, they've decided to move to Midlothian. Unfortunately, it's taken a long time. He's got a lot of developments going, and he's had some delays on some of the other developments. So he's going to take over the empty lot there, 145th and Pulaski. So that, again, should be started this year, but hopefully the delays on the other projects go away. Kedzie Avenue, the infamous State of Illinois building, been vacant for 20-some years. We finally have an individual that bought all the property over there. He's going to turn it into a commercial trucking facility. He's recently got quotes on a demolition company, and I think he got the permit from Cook County, so hopefully that building will be coming down soon, and he can start on his project. And then Harmony Daycare decided to move into the old Daniels Printing over on Cicero. Here's the commercial retail development. Individuals looking to buy the property and turn it into a commercial retail development. He's doing some survey work now. This is the Cars Inc. property on Cicero, and we're looking forward to some really good things in that plaza. So more to come when we know more. There's the Big B Coffee, moving in the old Brown's Chicken. And then we have a company that bought the vacant Moran building over there on 147th. So looking to the future, how am I doing on time? Got an hour? So once again, we're going to continue focusing on floodplain issues throughout town. That's never stopped. We continue working hard on that. We're focused on a redevelopment, a refreshed, renewed downtown area. We think the Bartolini's redevelopment is going to spur some things there. If we can clean it up, like getting rid of the white building, I think that's going to help as well. We want to make it a nice, attractive place to walk, bike, and commute to. So we're hoping we can get that done. Monthly water billing, I don't think that's ever going to happen, honestly. It's a lot of work. It's going to cost a lot more money for the village to do that. You can pay your bill monthly now. You just figure out how much you normally pay. Say your bill's $300 every quarter. You can pay $100 a month. You can do that now. Trustee Burbat pays his every 2 weeks, so I guess we're slacking. And of course, marketing the plan for the village in Midlothian, easy access to hometown charm, I think that says it all. We have the train station, we have a lot of commuters that go by here. We don't have a lot of commuters left in Midlothian. As you see, our commuter lots are pretty much empty. A lot of people work from home. I know a lot of people that are working from home. But there are people on that train when they stop, they're looking out the window. And if we can make that a nice, fresh little looking area over there, I think it'll attract people to come back and frequent those businesses. Coming up is our 14th annual Independence Day Parade. June, always the last Saturday in June, so it'll be June 29th. 11 a.m. We start at the old Grills Hardware. What is it now? Anyways, 147th at Kilpatrick, that's where we start. Please join us. Hopefully it'll be a nice day. Although it does say rain or shine, but you know. And then here, again, if you can go, when you go home, you can click here to participate when you see it online at home. And that's it. Village of Prideville. I did well. An hour. So, any questions? Come on now. Oh yeah. Yes.
The Burger King on Cicero, is that Midlothian or Crestwood?
It's Midlothian. We have an individual I just met with looking to buy it to turn it into another restaurant. So hopefully that goes through. Burger King has put a lot of restrictions on the sale of that property. They can't sell it to another, they won't sell it to another fast food joint like a burger joint or any of their competitors. I know Burger King owns a lot of different franchises and they won't sell to any other competitor of their franchises. So this is a local guy. He travels around, does shows, but he wants to get some he wants to get some brick and mortar and stay in one place now. So hopefully that works. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Springfield school expansion, I guess. Springfield school is probably the problem. I'm curious why, for a landlocked town, there's no more residential building there where all these things are.
I don't think it has to do with actually Superintendent Karate. The expansion doesn't really have much to do with enrollment increasing as much as it has to do with what you're required to have as a school.
Well, you weren't talking with your full voice, so.
Hi there. So our students at Springfield School still eat in their classrooms, so this gives them an opportunity to eat in a area that resembles a lunchroom. It's going to be a multi-purpose room, so they can eat there, they can enjoy one another's company, they can talk to one another around round tables. So we're building another gym as well, and then there's a STEM lab that's going in. So we will be able to have our kids do a bunch of hands-on activities, which they're doing now, but we're really limited on space as far as a STEM lab goes. So we're super excited about that, and then we're adding several classrooms as well. One of the amazing things that we get to do is we house classrooms for Eisenhower Cooperative. They have their developmental learning program with us. So they have several of our classrooms that they rent, and this allows many of our students are part of the DLP along with some surrounding districts, but this allows them to go into our regular general ed, I should say, classrooms and be part of the classrooms for lunchtime or different activities that they do, and even sometimes they get to push in for education as well. So we like to provide that for not only our students, but others that are part of the cooperative. So that's a unique opportunity we have. We're super, super excited about this addition. It's going to be absolutely amazing. That building was built in 1930. And it has some amazing character to it. And so we took a lot of time to really be thoughtful of how we were going to structure the front of it so that we didn't take away any of its charm. So I know that it has been a pain if you live around there because of the construction, but thank you so much for your patience. It is going to be absolutely amazing, I promise. And we will have an open house once we're ready. And you can come tour it, and we'll have activities too. So thank you.
Answer your question? Who else? Yes, sir.
The building on 140th and Trumbull on the corner, that old brown building, 47th and Trumbull.
147th at Trumbull.
Yeah, it's an old office building. It was a medical center a
Oh,
long time ago,
yeah.
or whatever it was. And what about home at Dummy's old place?
There's been no action on dummies whatsoever. It's probably gonna have to be something other than a bar.
Yeah.
To get, but you're talking about
The building,
yeah, go ahead.
the building that's on 147th and Trumbull, the old office building, we approached the South Suburban Land Bank about an abandonment project on that property. Unfortunately, there's a federal tax lien, which will make it very difficult. So we have to dig into that a little bit more to see what can be done.
Who's gonna maintain it? I mean, the grass.
The village will have to cut it.
We have to go through the whole process of
Yeah.
noticing citations, giving them time.
Right.
Again, it's unfortunate, it's a long process, but we'll eventually have to do it ourselves. Well, we hire a company or contractor that does that. So again, it's, guys, give us some time, just some patience.
You're also talking about cutting grass in the neighborhoods. I mean,
Yeah.
A lot of these homes are being rented, I'm guessing. Who's responsible to cut the grass there? And why doesn't the person live there cut the damn grass? I don't understand it either.
Well, we couldn't agree with you more. But unfortunately, that's the way the world is today, and
Am I in violation of anything, officers?
yeah.
If I take my lawnmower, go cut it.
The question is, why don't the people that live in this property cut the grass? Well, we wish we had the answer, but we can't wait for them to do it. We have to start the process, and again, we do start it early. It just takes a long time to get to the point where we can send out somebody to cut the grass.
Oh, just keep in mind that the grass.
You talk.
Keep in mind on the vacant homes or homes that are neglected to cut their grass. The grass has to get to 8 inches tall before the building department can write a citation. Then we gotta give them time to remedy it, and then we can hire somebody. So each time it has to go through that cycle. So that adds a little more time.
8 inches. Actually, that was a recommendation that was brought to the board to change the ordinance a little bit, but again, we could probably change the inches, but we can't change the legal process. It still has to go through the entire legal process, because if we don't go through the process, they'll take us to court and mark them or something, and we'll lose. And so we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure we get reimbursed for all the monies we spend on this property maintenance.
What is your percentage of homes that are being rented in town? Do we know that?
I do not know that.
Home versus somebody renting? We don't know that.
So after the downturn, I think that's 0708, there was a person that came in and bought up a lot of the foreclosures. We had hundreds and hundreds of foreclosures. This individual came and bought up a lot of them, did minimal work and rented them all out. He went bankrupt. But I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I don't know the answer.
As long as you're taking care of it,
We will. Just patience. Yeah.
got it.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I asked you this question a few years ago.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and you must have a whole lot of patience. What is the, you're talking about keep Midlothian beautiful.
Yes.
As far as the residents.
Mm-hmm.
How is the town working in regards to keeping, getting a resurfacing of Pulaski Avenue?
So,
Section of 147 Pulaski, it looks horrible.
Something-
Why can't we get that resurfaced?
because it's not our road,
Pardon?
it's not our road. It's,
I understand that.
so,
But
superintendent,
when I asked you a few years ago, you said that the village was talking to Preckwinkle's people.
yeah.
That's-
We met downtown, we've met online, we've met through conference calls. We just got a new update. They're asking for our input into what we want to see on Pulaski.
I mean, I gotta believe you want to have it.
Oh,
with
yes.
the village hall and the police station.
Absolutely.
I mean, the road is horrible.
It's worse. It's bad. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's bad, and we know it's bad. They know it's bad, and I don't. What was the latest timeline?
Yeah, so they had it was probably 4 or 5 years ago, they said they had a 5-year plan to resurface that. In the meantime, we did a lot of research and covering this stuff. And recently, we had a meeting just recently, and it's being put off. It's not going to be 2 years, probably 3 years. They're actually going to do some temporary patching up Pulaski. I didn't want to hear that.
No.
But they're going to do a little patching, so I might best guess is maybe 3 years, 2 or 3 years.
And
Yeah.
that's just 3 years. And then cash.
No, patching will be next year or this year. Yeah. And I've asked them to do the meeting by McDonald's because that's a mess to try to cut it to McDonald's. Little things like that, they can fix those up from now. But the mayor said we gave them our suggestions on walking paths, connecting all the sidewalks, different lights, safety things like that. So, but that's the county.
Right.
Nothing we can do about it.
I don't know if you got together with maybe the mayor Robbins, because I mean, the road is terrible all the way down on site.
It's pretty bad, but it's again, we're pushing as hard as we can push to get them to move. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot of money, though. You got to understand, it's a total reconstruction. Their project is a total reconstruction of from 127 to 159. So we kind of freaked out when they said, "Oh, we're going to do some patching." We're like, no, that's not going to do it. No, they swear to us, they guarantee they're going to stick with the total reconstruction of this corridor. So yes, we want it done badly. Sometimes my patience does wear out. You're right. So, anyone else? Leasing agent bought it, and I thought we had some interest, but I'm not sure if that went through yet. There's some interest. We don't know exactly what it is yet. Someone from the back? No. All right. Well.
What's the 147 plans? What's that going to be? Is there going to be the head shop, whatever the hell it is?
The old 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be insurance. The smaller unit's going to be an insurance place, and then a smoke shop. Yeah. So. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out, and I appreciate it. We'll do it again next year.